Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Where the fuck is Steve?
He should be here by now.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything from him.
You see him at all today?
No, actually.
I haven't heard from him.
Well, what the fuck are we gonna do now?
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Let's just roll with it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your three hosts, BB,
BC,
And Dylan.
and Nikki.
All right. Hey, I guess that works pretty good for us.
Yeah.
So, guys, what's going on? Well, welcome back, everybody. You know, as Steve was saying, thanks for listening. Share us with your friends on Facebook and download us on iTunes and Google Play and
Most everywhere you can find
Everywhere you can
podcasts.
find podcasts.
So, guys, what's going on? Do we have any news items? Let's hit a little news. Dill, what do you got in our news here, buddy?
Well, this is another thing that I think BC is excited for. Dream Theater announced their newest album, Distance Over Time, is coming in February, and they have announced tour dates for the first leg of their tour, which has the subtitle of, I believe, let me see if I can get it, Celebrating 20 Years of Scenes from a Memory. So we might have another situation where they're playing Metropolis Part 2 Scenes from a Memory in its entirety, which they haven't done in nearly 2 decades, according to Blabbermouth. And that's an awesome album. It's like a concept album, really cool. Actually, one of my picks from the ballads, The Spirit Carries On, came from that album. And this was the album, I think, Distance Over Time, this new album, I think they polled their Facebook people and be like, what kind of Dream Theater album would you like to hear? Like a heavier album or like a more like proggy album? I can't remember what one, but
I don't want to say heavy then.
I hope Heavy
Because
did.
they said it's going to be a little bit more heavier than still Dream Theater, but heavier DT. But I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a great album. We saw them. Was it this year, or was it late last year?
It was last year, I believe.
Man, but what a show they put on. What's musicianship they have in a band, and you have to. It's not like you really have to indulge into these guys because there's just either you get them or you don't get them, and I feel bad if you don't get them because musically they just blow your mind away.
Yeah,
And a lot of people truly don't understand their music, and it's a little bit maybe if you're not really at first some of their songs and albums, it's a little overwhelming, I guess you would call it. But if you really sit down and listen to it, they're phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And they're one of the handful of bands that I don't even think twice. I just pick up whatever they come out with.
Right.
This is I think their 4th album with Mike Mangini on drums. Because you have Dramatic Turn of Events, Dream Theater, and then The Astonishing. So this one will be number 4. And I like his drumming. It's a little more subdued than Mike Portnoy, I would say. But it still goes with the music really well.
Flynn's very good, I think.
Yeah. And hopefully this album isn't as long as The Astonishing. Because it's a bloated album. It's good, but it's like almost 3 hours long. And that's a long time to listen to an album. No matter how good it is.
Yeah, it's easily you get bored of it real quick.
Yeah.
After the first hour, you definitely have to take like a little break.
Yeah, well,
like
I know.
a hockey thing.
I know.
Like you have to take a period.
Play 20 minutes.
All right, I need a break.
Play there 20 minutes.
Well, we listened to A Change of Seasons for one of the EPs, and I know you were like, oh my God, this song is only half over.
This is an EP. This is longer than some people's albums.
Oh,
yes.
So what's your piece of news?
My news is let me see. Today's Thursday. They released Queen's movie Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm going to bring this up because hopefully within the next couple days I'm going to go see it. And the first Thursday night, the preview, they made $3.8 million on it. And 90% of the people that they polled coming out said that they enjoyed it. So I'm hoping it's. I know we talked about this a little bit one other day on another episode, but I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
Queen is Queen. You know, how can you not be a fan of Queen
One way
or the other?
Hopefully, I'm going to see it tomorrow.
I've heard really good things about
what
Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury. Like, that's the one thing that I've heard universally praised is, like, he embodied that role really well.
Right.
Critically, it hasn't been getting as good of reviews as the audience, but hey, I mean, a lot of times you look at the Rotten Tomatoes and the critic score and the audience score, like,
Right.
black and white.
Like,
so.
look how bad they bashed Rockstar. We thought it was a really good movie, so,
Yeah, I'm really excited for Bohemian Rhapsody, though. Definitely. Cool. Do we want to talk about a little KISS stuff that's been happening since
Sure, definitely.
Our intrepid host is on the KISS Cruise, sailing the high seas?
Booze it up with the fans.
Definitely. Well, let's at least bring up the one thing that we all saw. Vinnie Vincent.
Vinnie Vincent at was it the pre-party?
The
was like a
pre-party,
pre-party,
he
yeah.
played 3 songs with Four for Fate.
Played.
Well, yeah, he kind of...
He strummed the guitar.
He strummed the guitar like somebody that has just taken music lessons.
It's funny because they said, "Oh, he's going to come out with these guys." And so I was sitting there. Okay, no. And I left the room, and I come back, and you see him up there. I'm like, "Ooh."
There he is.
Yeah.
So you're waiting for this. You're waiting for it. And then they start playing. It's like, oh, okay. Then he got to the solo, and the guitarist of 4x Fate played pretty much all the solo.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah, thanks to Joe Polo. Joe Polo was the one who had the video going, and he was doing the Facebook Live. We were watching it, and just to give Joe some praise of letting us see that, and letting us be there. And I know Steve also. Steve was a little late, I think. I know Joe was up a couple minutes before Steve's, but I think I actually watched Joe's because that was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
But like BC said, Vinny came out and they played 3 songs, and
It was Lick It Up, I Love It Loud, and Cold Gin.
Cold Gin, which Cold Gin kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the way you watch him play Cold Gin, he only plays maybe like 5 chords, and he doesn't really do. He does like more of the rhythm part of it. As much as a big of a Vinny fan I was totally disappointed.
And
Exactly.
yeah, I knew that was like something like that was going to happen because you think Lick It Up and I Love It Loud aren't solo songs. They're like
Right.
they're just kind of like verse chorus, call and response type things. Like there's nothing really technically amazing on those songs, and he plays those songs, and it's like, oh, okay.
I would think it'd be, just totally disappointing. And I really hope he brushes up his guitar playing, especially for December when he plays that thing in Nashville or Memphis, wherever he's playing it. But
Yeah.
for all the people
Atlanta,
that
I think, right?
bought tickets, and
Might be Atlanta.
I'd be very lenient about this.
I'd be very
this
leery
2-night
now.
thing.
Yeah,
Maybe he
it's-
should have kind of stayed acoustic. This shredding thing may not be his cup of tea right now.
Maybe he's setting the bar low so that he can clear it really
Ooh,
well.
True. I'm gonna do the high jump at 1 foot.
Yeah. And then just like blow it's like the guy that like pretends he's bad at pool and then like cleans up.
Cleans the runs the table.
Runs the table.
But I agree with BB on this. I mean, I was hoping for something because, Vinny came back and then he started doing some other things, kind of, you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
okay, redeem yourself tonight. And he did not.
No.
Like BC has said before off air, in interviews, Vinny has said he's been playing for the last 25 years, that he's been hiding behind the dumpster, but it purely shows that he has not been playing for the last 25 years. He's probably 4 months into this and trying to bring back what he used to have, and I don't think he's gonna get it.
No.
I think he's gonna have a tough time.
And I feel bad because, a lot of people were probably really hoping that he would, throw something out there, shock the people. But
Yeah.
he did not shock the people.
Yeah, even like the Dead Daisies were in one corner watching. They were saying they were hoping to see some big stuff, but it was just very disappointing, very very disappointing.
Yeah.
But you never know.
No.
We'll see what December brings when he plays his. I think there's like 2 dates in December, maybe like 6th and 7th or 7th or 8th, and somewhere in Tennessee. But
And when my dad comes back, we'll get a first-hand account of what it was like to be in the room.
You hear everybody go,
what the hell just happened?
But there's some other exciting stuff happening on the KISS Cruise, so it'll be real cool to hear about it. Already we have Bruce Kulick and Ace Frehley joining the band on stage for a couple songs.
and that was cool.
Yeah, that was really neat. And Bruce, I'm still amazed by how Bruce can just play.
Bruce is really good.
amazing.
Bruce is a very underrated guitar player, I thought.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah, he plays
Grand
that
Funk Railroad.
acoustic guitar really, really well.
I like his KISS Unplugged is just amazing. Which
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a really good segue. I think.
Oh,
into
that's a great job.
The subject of our episode.
Wow, it's like volleyball. You just line them up, and we're gonna spike and serve. And yeah, like Dylan said, since Steve is gone and he is very anti acoustic songs, we figured we would do an acoustic song set. We're gonna do a 10 song and 2 bonus tracks like we normally do. And there's many acoustic songs out there, even if they're on CDs or they're released as extra bonus tracks, or they're found out on YouTube, or they're just an audio on YouTube. There's just mounds and mounds of acoustic music that I've never known of.
Yeah.
Trying to search this, and I
When you
was
look
really
into it, the
really
more you
blown away.
find, it's-
Yeah, it's really surprising of how many bands out there actually did acoustic stuff that you didn't know or you didn't think, because it's not really publicized. Like band will go on a radio station, they'll play like 2 songs, and you never hear about it, you don't see it
Unless you were there, you
15 years down the road. Wow, look at that! Stryper played in some radio station in New York City, and it was just like 2 guys, and
Yeah.
but really really cool, different, amazing acoustic stuff out there, and it's just endless roads of acoustic music out there. So we're gonna pick 10 and 2 and see what everybody comes up with. So we'll just dive right in. BC, what do you got for your first song, buddy?
I'm going to get my boys out of the way. Iron Maiden off of 2003's Dance of Death with the Journeyman. I mean, when I first heard this back then, I was like, wow, like they're not known for being very acoustic, I don't think, other than a little here and there. But it's all acoustic song. I mean, to me, I guess I love the way they do it. The 3 guitar players just give their music such a new dimension. That's how I start mine off.
Yeah, I said back in when we covered Iron Maiden and this album in particular that this was the album that they perfected the 3 guitarist lineup.
They finally got it tweaked.
And they could never do this song with 2 guitarists because there's so many layers and there's the orchestral parts in the song that really make it a completely different beast from what you're used to having from Iron Maiden. And it's a really awesome tune. And I knew you were going to pick it.
Yeah, definitely. I knew this was going to be somewhere on BC's album, and it's a great song. And like you guys said, it's just one of those songs that you don't expect to hear from Iron Maiden, and they make it their own, and it sounds amazing. There you go. It's a pleasant surprise and great way to start off an album.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job.
Good job, BC. Thanks for coming tonight, buddy. Jill, how about you, bud?
My first song is going to be from a band that I really like a lot. They're a little more alternative than hard rock, but it's from Jane's Addiction with Jane Says.
Yes.
Really cool song. There's actually 2 different versions of it, and the version that's most well known is a live-ish version. There's some cool steel drums in it. I just love the way that Perry Farrell. Yeah, Perry Farrell's vocals in this song, I just love how he gets that high, because it kind of gets you into this character of Jane and how she's kind of a mess and just not the greatest person in the world. It's a cool song from a band that's just all about sleaze, and they have a song where dogs are barking at the beginning. Come on. But it's a cool somewhat live song to start off my list, from a band that we normally don't really talk about too much on the show. And I figured since my dad's not here, I could get away.
We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Get away with some different things. But Jane Says from Jane's Addiction.
Jane's Addiction. Yep, great song. I know exactly what you're talking about. Another one of those grungy bands that we don't talk about a lot here on this episode, but on this podcast. But a great band, and they made some cool songs back in the 90s, and they were catchy, and they had a great following.
Yeah.
I think I had their one CD.
Ritual De Lo
Yeah,
Habitual.
I think that was the one I had, and it's a great CD. You know, it's just one of those things that we don't bring up. But I dug them back in the day.
I like the dog song.
Been caught stealing.
Big cock stealing. Other than that, I'm sure I know some of the other ones. But
You'd probably recognize this.
I
if you
recognize
heard
a
it.
few of them.
Yeah, because it was all over the radio.
Oh, I definitely heard it.
Only uses 2 chords, which I found interesting. But
Wow.
but it's what they do with those 2 chords that makes the song good. BB, what's your first pick?
All right, let's open up my album with Whitesnake. I talked about this album a couple of days ago because it was just released. The Unzipped album from Whitesnake, there are, depending on which one you get, there's a couple of different versions, but the deluxe version has a acoustic concert from Tokyo from 1997. And the song I'm going to pick from that is Love Ain't No Stranger. There's a couple of great songs of this, but I wanted to pick this one because I think the difference between the actual song and this song, how it's just acoustic, it just fits so well. And David Coverdale's vocals on this album is just mind-blowing back in 1997. It's just a great song, great way to start the album. And I listened to it today, and this song, he just gives me goosebumps every once in a while. Just the range of his voice. And he's probably one of the, he may be taking over a little bit of the forefront of this music industry in my eyes of a vocalist. But yeah, what a great album! I know you picked it up, and
I picked up and I like acoustic music, so I had to pick it up. And then, like you said, the bonus stuff is those shows are the sound and the quality is just like.
I think on Spotify there's like an extra super duper deluxe. There's like 93 sons on it.
There's a version of it. There's a version of it on Apple Music. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to listen to every single one of these songs to pick something from it. And I knew that you were going to pick something from that album because you had talked about it a couple episodes ago. I like the original version of that song, so I'll have to check out the acoustic.
Yeah, it's just the range of his voice and it works. It's just simple, but. Sykes, the way he plays that guitar, it totally works in this situation. Mm-hmm. And everyone, you listen to it, it's almost a hair better than the actual song.
Those are the best kind of acoustic songs. The ones that you're like, oh my god, I think I
really
like it better than the electric.
You. Yes. But yeah, so guys, everybody go pick up that new Whitesnake album because some of those songs on there are mind blowing.
BC, what's your second pick?
Let's reach into the bucket here. I'm going to pull out from 2013 Saxon with the Unplugged and strung up with the song Frozen Rainbow. I picked this up maybe a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago. Time flies. And just started listening to it, and there's a lot. I mean, some of it's not all acoustic, but some of it, like the very end, the bonus stuff, I think is acoustic. So I like it. There's like 4 or 5 at the very end, and the acoustic version is just. Here's a band, and they're like Iron Maiden in my book. They keep getting better and better with every release they come out with.
That's another band that you don't really think acoustic. Like they're going to do an acoustic version of their songs, and I love when bands do that. They just like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see how it works.
See how it works either.
You know, if it fails, it fails, but people will buy it anyways.
The fans are going to buy it anyway, so.
But I have not heard that version of it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I have not heard it. But now I look at the album, they have Frozen Rainbow acoustic, Iron Wheels, they do acoustic, Coming Home. So there's a couple there.
There's some other ones with orchestra, but
that's cool.
Not totally acoustic. But
I like that. I'm going to have to check that out now.
Nice.
Good job. See, look at that. 2 right out of the box. One good one and one, wow, I didn't know that even existed one. Great job, BC.
One good one. And where the hell you get that from?
Yeah. Are you just making up shit as you go now?
Well, that's it. That's later on.
All right, Dill, what's number 2 on your album?
My next pick is a band that BC has sung praises for, and I think we all have at one point or another. It's from
Liquorbox?
No, not.
Oh, okay.
Not Liquorbox. It's
those guys.
It's from Godsmack, from their album The Other Side from 2004. It's an acoustic version of Realigned. Really cool. A song that you would never think they would do acoustic, because because it's a pretty heavy song.
Yeah.
But it really works. Like Sully's voice translates really well to like acoustic guitars. I mean, we've heard some of that with the new album. I think there was one song that was mostly acoustic, and Sully's voice was just sounded amazing with it.
What's this off of?
It's off of The Other Side from 2004. It has an acoustic guitar on the cover, so I was like, hey, let's check it out. But it's a really cool version of a song that
You would not think.
hey translates really well acoustic. It
So
still has the
it's
aggression.
a whole album that they actually do.
Yeah, they do Running Blind, Realign, Touche, Voices Keep Away, and Spiral. So
Jesus.
yeah, it's
See,
a
once
really
again, another one that I didn't know existed.
yeah, it's you got to dig
gotta
deep
really
and
dig
find
deep.
the
Man,
cool
man.
stuff. Yeah, really good
That's
version.
awesome. See?
And like you said, this stuff wasn't in the main front, so it gets lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And when you start digging, you start finding a lot of cool stuff out there.
yeah. BB.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, now this one's a video.
Oh.
And I told my daughter I would put this on my album because she was at the kitchen table wondering what I was doing. So we had a little conversation. And one of our favorite songs that we like to sing together is Warrant's Uncle Tom's Cabin. So I have found an acoustic version from M3
Oh,
Nice.
in 2012. They do it backstage. It was with the they were around filming it at the time. It was like ACT videos or something. Because I remember something from Force City watching the video on their cable channel. They got they have the cable channel that runs all these concerts and that. It's like AVAT.
Access.
Maybe that's it. Right. So they were playing highlights through all these different things, and somehow they got hooked up, and they did a couple songs, but Uncle Tom's Cabin was one of the songs, and Robert Mason's voice is just off the charts, mind blowing, and just it's a really cool version of it. So check it out. It's out there. It's on YouTube, and it's just a really, really cool version.
that would be cool to hear acoustic because I think that's one of their best, if not their best song.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Everybody has a guitar, and then the drummer's sitting on one of those.
The occasions, yeah.
Yeah, so like even Robert Mason has a guitar, and one guy pulls out a harmonica. It's really, really good. And there's probably only like 20 people there, so there must have been some kind of, maybe a giveaway or something with the channel, or they
were the bodies that they
doing
threw
it.
in the wishing well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check that out. And like I said to Dylan before, we'll make sure all these songs that we're talking about get posted, and you guys can check them out and see what you guys think.
Yeah. I'll put everything that is available on our Spotify playlist of the week that you could check out in the description of this episode.
All right.
That was my plug. BC, your third song.
Third song, I'm going to go with the John Krabi. He was in the band The Scream back in the day. I don't know, this might be a cover song. I'm not 100% sure. But he did an Unplugged release back in 2012. It's Father, Mother, Son. It's off the Scream album, but he did this off his Unplugged album. And a story with him and his father and all throughout time. It's pretty cool. I mean, I love the acoustic version, but the Scream version is pretty much acoustic with some
The electric thrown in.
there. But
Yeah.
to me, it's just, and this guy, I love his voice. I mean, he's just a cool guy. He just gives it all in his shows, I think.
Yeah, John Krabi is a really underrated vocalist. Like, he's somebody that whenever somebody goes, John Krabi's great, they'll go, oh, yeah, you know what, he is. It's not like most people wouldn't go like, they wouldn't list him immediately, but you can't deny his talent. And, hey, he filled in for Vince Neil when they kicked him out of the band in Motley Crue. So
And that was the best album they ever made. But yeah, The Scream, another one of those underrated bands that we're a fan of here on the podcast, and they just got lost in the shuffle like a lot of all these other guys, and that's a great album. I'm not 100% sure. Now, I don't think I've ever heard the Krabi Unplugged, but I definitely have to check that out because now it really sparked my interest. But it is a good song from the Scream.
Oh, okay. I would have loved this. I mean, I think that came out, and like you said, the music scene was changing big time then. And then he got asked to go with Motley Crue, so I always wondered what would happen with the Scream if he never went with the Crue.
Yeah.
Would they have continued
What if?
Stuck around.
another album, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they were a great band.
They were. They were.
Hey, Dill, what's your number 3 there, bud?
Number 3 is an acoustic medley, actually, done by Def Leppard back in 2012. It's a medley of Where Does Love Go? Where Does Love Go When It Dies? Now, When Love and Hate Collide. Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? And Two Steps Behind. Because you can't have an acoustic medley of Def Leppard without having Two Steps Behind. It's such a good medley. Like, the best medleys are the ones that seamlessly transition from song to song. And this one, if you didn't know what each of the songs were, you would think it's just one long song because they work so well together.
Right.
And they managed to arrange it in such a way that it sounds like it's just like one long piece of music. It's 7 minutes and 45 seconds, but they use their time really wisely and it doesn't drag. Each of these songs are really good. I'm personally always been a fan of Two Steps Behind, but like Joe Elliott sounds great in it. Yeah, it's a really cool version of all these different songs, and it's almost like a greatest hits of their softer songs, if you will.
Cool. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. What is what album is that off of?
It was
Or is it
released
just
as a
like
single.
a-
Yeah,
okay.
it's just acoustic medley. I think they released it to maybe iTunes.
Oh, okay. Now finally. The phone's a little slow here. But yeah, now that I see this, yes, I have heard this, and it is a good little melody.
Yeah. I was originally just going to do the acoustic version of Two Steps Behind, but I found this and I'm like, you know what, this is really cool. So
And it's cool. It's cool when a band throws stuff
Throws it
together.
all
instead of
together.
just playing one song the way through. I like
Yeah.
and that's catching on a lot. Like live shows, they do like kicking like 3 different songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 4
Instead of
songs.
playing the whole damn song, they give you 3 little.
Well, we saw Ozzy and they did like a medley of the solos and a bunch of different Ozzy songs.
All right.
And Zakk Wylde went running around the stadium.
That was awesome.
That was really cool.
It was all the solos off of No Rest for the Wicked.
The rest of it.
Yeah. And then Perry Mason
Perry
at
Mason.
the end. Which I still wish they would have did Perry Mason in its entirety.
That would be real cool.
That'd be real
That's an awesome song.
BB, what's numero trace?
How about we pull out?
I did mention Zakk Wylde. If that
That
wants
is
to.
true. You may hear him in a little later segment here.
Okay, I won't rush you.
No, I don't have any rush. No. How about we go a little Danger.
Nice.
This is a video. It was recorded on Japan television, 1991. The song is "Monkey Business," and I was
Skid
really
Row song?
No, this is a Danger song, and it was great to see because you always think of Naughty Naughty, all their hits, and this was one of their not so popular songs. It was on their Screw It album.
Great album.
And it's just a funny song. A couple of lyrics about King Kong on the top of the Empire State Building and loses his grip, and it's just a really funny song. And acoustically, it's totally different than the actual song. So it's kind of different. So if you're familiar with the actual song, definitely give the acoustic version a listen. You remember back in the day, Japan was just like recording stuff all over the place on TV, and they did Monkey Business, they did Danger, and I think they did I Still Think About You. They did those 3 songs, but they're good. But I Monkey Business because that's the one nobody recognizes.
I'm a fan of Danger there. And I don't think they're going anymore, are they?
I don't know. Ted's kind of doing stuff on
Ted's
his own.
on his own. We
but I
just
don't
saw
think
Ted this past April, May, and he's just he's a rocker.
Yeah.
He just does it for true love of it. He ain't trying to make a dime off this. He's just doing it because he loves it.
Yeah, and he still has the pipes.
He does.
For all those years of singing, he still brings it. I think the last time I didn't see him then. We saw him some M3.
We might have heard him. It was that Trickster. It's funny how all this stuff blends together after all these years. It's like, we're in line somewhere. Either it was Danger, or Trickster that we heard, but we couldn't see. But that's a good pick.
All right, BC.
Number 4.
Boy, number 4. Let's see. Let's dig in the vault here. BB touched on Warrant, but I'm going to touch on their late singer, Janie Lane. There's a version. This is online too. And there's, I think there might be a actual release version of it, Blind Faith, acoustically. Ooh. Just him with the guitar doing it. Like you said, when somebody plays a song acoustically and sings it, you know how good of a singer somebody is when they can do the song acoustically and hit everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, acoustic is definitely rougher, I think, on the singers than anybody else. Because it is a little tough to translate it to guitar a little bit. Drums, you could just bang on a box. But singers, they're in the forefront even more so because they're the ones that they're projected the most. And, Janie Lane was able to really hold that.
I mean, all the stuff Warrant was doing, the videos and shit, he really got overlooked, I think, as a vocalist.
Yeah, and it's tough because, he's always out there rocking, so you see him doing Blind Faith. He just calms down, he relaxes, and just lets the lyrics just roll instead of trying to get into it. He just sells it, and that's a great song. I forgot about that one. That's a great tune, especially acoustic.
And then there's another. I mean, when you start delving into all this stuff, they were on their Arsenio Hall show. How old is this? And they did that song, the whole band.
Huh.
And that was good too, but Janie Lane doing it, just Janie Lane,
just
acoustic
him.
guitar, doing phenomenal version.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Dill, what's number 4 there, Keys?
Number 4 is a song that I touched on, and I definitely am glad that my dad's not here for this one since he trashed all over this album. It's from Allison Chains, Jarrah Flies. It's Nutshell. This song is such a beautiful song. I absolutely love it. Just Lane Staley's vocals in it are just soulful and crushing, and it moves at a little slower pace. But I mean, Allison Chains has always been kind of a little downish band, but it's just like a hauntingly heartbreaking song. I mean, the album is too, because they were in a pretty dark place because they kicked out their bassist and all their equipment got stolen, so they were really not in a great place. But this song is just such. If I was to show anybody, they go to me, hey, I want to listen to Allison Chains, but I can't get into it. I'll give them this song because it's such a good, beautiful, indicative song of how good of songwriters they were.
Right.
Because it's composed beautifully. The lyrics are just so crushing.
Yeah.
I love it a lot.
Yeah, that album is amazing. I'm like you, Dill. I'm a big fan of that album. It's produced top notch. The vocals to the drums, everything works. And you have to understand the story behind a lot of the songs. And once you understand that and get into the lyrics, and then the music just flows through you, it's a really, really good album. And you may actually hear Allison Chains very shortly.
Nice.
You do not have to give me that CD because I already am a fan of Allison Chains. So I mean, like you said, I liked anything they did back then. Yeah. I mean, even their darker stuff, but it's a nice change.
Absolutely.
All right,
BB.
I'm gonna keep rolling with the Allison Chains, and I'm gonna go when they did their unplugged version for MTV back in the Majestic Theater in New York City, 1996. And how can you not bring up Allison Chains if you don't bring up the song "Wood"?
Nice.
The song "Wood" on this album is top notch, amazing. It's almost pretty much in touch with the original, but it just has a little bit different of a flow with the band with the steel strings, acoustic guitars in it. Gives it a little different feel. Love it. Love this album. One of my favorite unplugged albums from the MTV era. from 1996, and that's when music's going all over the place. But I remember this CD stuck in my player for a while. Yeah, really grabbed me. And it was, since we're all fans here of Allison Chains, it's another great way to just keep selling the Allison Chains discography, if you will.
That's one of my favorite MTV Unplugged albums. I love the arrangements of a lot of the songs. A lot of their songs strangely translate really well to acoustic. Like, just they have that like mindset to it because of how low key a lot of them are. And I think Wood is a little more up tempo than a lot of the other songs, but it does translate really well to acoustic. And I always listen to that album and I think of like Mike Inez, where having the bass that says "Friends don't let friends get friends haircuts."
Oh right, yes.
Like he kept bashing Metallica when they started doing, I think, the bass line to Enter Sandman at one point. But that album is just so good, and it's a really good, just like the MTV Unplugged for Nirvana. It's like almost like a eulogy for Lane Staley, like that was for Kurt Cobain in a way.
Yeah, true.
Because it was kind of their last major release before they either stopped or they. I think Lane actually went on to do some other stuff with like another band. I want to say, I can't remember the name of the band, but it wasn't like his last recording like Live in New York was for Nirvana. But I mean, it's a beautiful album that has a lot of fun in it.
Yeah.
They mess up. I can't remember what song they keep messing up, but on the DVD, like they keep like that they had to restart it a couple times.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool that you could see that.
Right.
And Wood is a great version. Sorry, I took over the mic there for a second.
No. Flow with the people.
Yeah, because back then MTV was doing that unplugged versions of
Everybody.
I can't believe some of them that I found today that actually did it. And I'm like, what?
And there's going to be some MTV Unplugged coming up as well from me.
Cool. All right, BC, what's number 5 there?
You're damn right there's some Unplugged coming up, because my next one is from one of the MTV Unplugs. It's KISS.
Nice.
With the Sure Know Something. To me,
that's a good
back the beat. I mean, but I think back in this time frame of KISS, Paul Stanley's voice was top game, and this whole CD is great. Even Ace listens.
Yeah,
that's right.
But
is it 2000 Man?
He does 2000 Man. Yeah.
But this song, I know it always sticks out. I mean, there's so many good ones on it, but it's the acoustic piece.
The chorus of that one is really impactful, like the da-na-na-na, like the guitar sound, and then their like harmonies and the vocals sound phenomenal. Like the band has never vocally, you're right, like Paul Stanley has never vocally sounded better than like that era.
That era of KISS.
Yeah. Especially with Bruce and Eric behind them, kind of mixing that vocal background, and it works, and it's a great MTV Unplugged. Now, even if you're not a KISS fan, I don't know how you cannot like this album.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it gets thrown out.
We've talked about it so many times on the show.
Yeah.
KISS.
Understandably so. It's a great album.
Great album.
Great. All right. Dill, number 5.
I think I'm going to keep the MTV Unplugged train a-rolling with a song that actually blew me away the first time I heard it. And you guys are going to laugh when I say it, but it's an acoustic version of Take On Me from Aha. And like the song, they make it like one of the most heartfelt, sweet songs. It's like emotionally moving. Like they slow it down. They have piano in it and they have guitars, and it's just like from this like really kind of bouncy song to this like really just sad and like sombering, like but joyful take on it. And I was like, holy shit, what is this? Because I first heard it was on the Deadpool 2 soundtrack. And like they played it, and like you don't recognize that it's the song until the singer goes talking away. I'm like, oh my god, is this Take On Me? And I'm like,
now I know where you're at now. Okay,
That was it. Unplugged?
Yeah, it was from MTV Unplugged. Yeah, actually, I think it was 2017 that they did it. So it's a very recent Unplugged.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
But I'll have to play it for you guys.
I know the song,
like,
so I mean, I
completely
checked
different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, I remember the little was it like 15-second clip on Deadpool that I remember. I'm like, oh wait, I know that song. So it caught my interest, and then you kind of forget about it. But now that you brought it up, I'm like, oh wow, I do remember that, and I wanted to check that out to see who sang it. And I didn't realize it was actually on the.
It was actually the band.
It's on the soundtrack, but and it's actually So cool.
Yeah, throwing it out there, just being different, trying out some different things.
Hey, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Daddy's not here. I don't care what we talk about. We can talk about
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. That's right.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Interesting.
Okay, BB, what do you have next?
How about we do a little? I guess I also will keep the MPTV train rolling. This is from Winger.
Oh, okay.
It was March 24th, 1991. They do Headed for a Heartbreak, but I'm going to pick Can't Get Enough. They change the arrangement of the song, and it's like a bluesy melody.
Ooh.
And it's Reb Beach just is disgusting on a string guitar. The way he bending the strings and plucking that thing. It's just a really, really, really cool version. And I could have used both of these because I know on Head on the Heartbreak there's like a little jam session they do. Kip's on the piano, which is a great version. But Can't Get Enough, the way they change it, and it just sounds like so. Like it has like a bluesy melody to it. It's just a totally left turn of the original song. It's really, really cool.
Cool. I don't remember seeing it, or even back in the day.
It was.
MTV
I watched it the other day. It was Winger, and it was Slaughter. It was only like a half an hour.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if they did more than these two songs. Because I kind of couldn't find it. I'm like, oh wow, I wonder if they did like this. Like I wonder if they did like 17, like acoustic.
Yeah.
And then then my head starts spinning, and I couldn't find anything. But I found it was like a half hour thing with Winger and Stryper. Stryper did I'm not Stryper. Slaughter. They did
Probably Fly to Angels.
the Beatles Revolution.
Oh, really?
And Fly to the Angels.
Huh. I don't remember ever seeing it.
And it's the regular MTV Unplugged set backdrop thing, and so I don't know if it was like say Winger recorded it on one day and then Slaughter did it on another day, and they kind of just combined the two.
Yeah,
put them together.
But like I said, I wonder if there's more songs to those set lists out there. Like I love to hear like Burning Bridges, maybe like acoustic, like if Slaughter did more.
Yeah,
but just a cool version that not a lot of people have heard of.
That's really cool.
So I'll make sure I post that.
I like the original version, but the bluesy arrangement of
it's really
I can't even think of it. Like think of how it would go. That's really cool.
But like you said, Rob Beach is phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, Rob Beach is really good.
It'd be cool to see him acoustic. Interesting.
Okay.
He's got big boofy hair. Crazy.
Nice.
All right, BC, what's number 6?
I'm going to get their last MTV Unplugged out of my system. I'm going to go with Queensryche, Silent Lucidity.
Oh.
I just love that song, period.
Yeah.
Piano version, any kind of version. I just love that song from the get-go. And when they did it on MTV, how could he go wrong?
There's an actual, it's funny, there's a video, I think it's like an hour and 7 minutes long, the whole set. Like they do like Lady Wore Black. It just, like I was kind of like skipping through it, and that grabbed me, like, oh wow, maybe I can write that down. Then I kind of kept going, and I'm like, my mind started to get blown by then. But yeah, they do a whole set.
That's cool.
Like I said, the stuff that comes out nowadays that was never out.
Yeah.
Back then.
Unearthed. Yeah.
Now it's coming out through internet and
that's one
social media.
It's one of my favorite opening riffs, like of all time.
I love the guitar.
It's almost like a lullaby kind of. It's so good.
I love that version of it.
That's a really good pick. So that's a version, acoustic or electric.
Anyway,
It's
I
really
like
good.
the song anyway.
Yeah. My sixth pick is going to be from the amazing band Night Ranger.
Nice.
So they did an album that was 24 strings and a drummer, live and acoustic, back in 2012, and they basically did most of their bigger songs. But the one that really stuck, they also do a really cool cover of Boys of Summer, which is also very good. And I was almost going to pick it.
I forgot all about that.
But I ended up picking their version of Don't Tell Me You Love Me, because that's probably my favorite Night Ranger song of all times, because you open the first album with it. That's like the first song you ever hear from Night Ranger. It would be a great closer, and I almost wish that they would like close their main set with it, because it would just be like such a mind-blowing closing. And they managed to translate it to acoustic really well. They keep the energy of it, but they change it up a bit. They have like kind of a cool middle part that's a little different, but they have the shredding in there over acoustic, and it's like acoustic shredding is such a cool sound. And you could really hear the technicality of the playing really crisp and clear. I'm not a giant fan of the production of this album. It sounds a little blown out at times, I would say, but I do love their take on this version of the song. So yeah, Don't Tell Me You Love Me.
I was going to say, Night Ranger is, again, another band that as soon as they put something out, you grab it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've ever put anything out, you're like, oh, jeez. Even when it was, what was that, Feeding Off the Mojo. It's Brad Gillis, the drummer, and some bass player. Three guys. That album is phenomenal. I mean, a lot of people give it slack because it's not Night Ranger. But if you look at the album, you just listen to it. It's a great album. And live music and acoustic together with Night Ranger, how can you go wrong?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at the album now because
great.
I don't think I've ever listened to this. And man, the freaking songs on there.
Yeah.
I got homework after my homework now. I can't wait. This is going to be.
It's endless how much stuff is out there.
Yeah, like we said before, you go down one avenue and then there's three other shoots off the avenue. You didn't know that all this music existed back in the day.
Exactly, because the other day I was doing some bands here, and then there was something on the very bottom, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever you want to call it nowadays. And it was just classic rock acoustic, what it's called. And there's all a bunch of different songs on there. But it doesn't say who. I'm trying to find out who's on it. With girls saying one song, a guy's like Hotel California, buddy. He goes, whoever these people are, phenomenal.
Jeez.
Then there's a girl that sings on some other ones. It's
Right.
I delved into it. I can't find who does it.
Right.
That's on Apple Music though.
Okay.
Sixth song.
Number 6. All right. This is a video. I showed Dylan this video before we started. And I can't remember when it was, a couple of years back. Great White actually played at a local radio station, Rock 107 here. They have a little theater. They played a couple acoustic songs. They played Desert Moon. This song acoustically I think it was mind-blowing at the time that BC and I saw it. It was a total surprise. We didn't expect them to even pull this out because we figured they're going to do a bunch of their greater hits.
The hits.
And Terry Lewis's voice with this song acoustically is amazing. It really fits the song. Nothing against Jack Russell, but the way Terry sang this that day, and I'll definitely make sure I post this video. It gives the original song just so much different meaning to it, and it's just a great acoustic song that they delivered that, like I said, that we did not expect.
Exactly. I mean, they started playing that, and I think me and BB's mouths dropped to the ground. And then we looked around and noticed that a good half of the people there probably didn't even know the song.
Right.
And we're just like, this is so freaking cool. Like, we're like 2 rows away from the band, and they're right here in front of us just jamming it acoustic. That was phenomenal. They only played, 3-4 songs?
Yeah.
But it was still so cool just to be in a little room, probably no bigger than this, with Great White.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really awesome video. I commented that their harmonies during the chorus were really, really good. And it translates really well, acoustic. And again, it's not really a song that I would think, this would be cool if I could hear this acoustic.
Right.
But once you heard it, you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they sold it.
Like it.
They really sold it. It was a great version. Yeah. All right, guys, that's halfway through our album. Why don't we get into our hidden gem? All right, and let's get into our hidden gems. Dylan, how about you go first this time?
Okay, my hidden gem is a live acoustic album. It's by a band that I don't think I've ever talked about on this show, the Foo Fighters. It's called...
Are they new?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
It's from 2006,
It's a catchy
so maybe
name.
they're not new. It's called Skin and Bones. So basically, the album, like their studio album before In Your Honor, was a double album where one CD was like heavy hard rock songs, and the second CD was like acoustic songs. So they decided to do a concert where, like, I think they would do half the concert strictly acoustic and then half the concert electric. And they released an album of the acoustic set and they have like a violinist, a percussionist, a pianist, and then they had Pat Smear, who was originally their first guitarist, come in to do some acoustic guitar. And that eventually got him back into the band, and he's now a permanent member. But it's a really cool collection of songs. Some of them, hadn't been actually released at all. Like this song "Skin and Bones" was a new song for that concert series. But like, there's some really cool versions of like "My Hero" on there, "Times Like These," "Best of You," "Big Me." They do a version of the one Nirvana song that Dave Grohl actually sings, "Marigold." And actually, Taylor Hawkins, the drummer, gets to sing "Cold Day in the Sun." So it's a good showcase of everybody in the band. Some really cool acoustic arrangements of some awesome songs. And it's a really just fun live album. It's Skin and Bones, Foo Fighters.
I saw that, and I'm like, wonder what. And I was going through the list. I'm like, I wonder what one of these. Because I briefly listened to a couple of the songs. I'm like, I wonder what song Dylan's gonna pick. And
Yeah, just pick the whole
you threw the curveball, and I swung, and you got the whole album.
Yep, got the whole album.
Yeah, great pick. I looked at that today, and there's some really, really good songs on it, and definitely check that out because I probably listened to 90% of it the other day, and it's really, really good. And I'm telling you, those guys just blow me away how musically and talented they are.
Yeah, they're amazing. BC, do you have your hidden gem ready?
Oh, okay. Since we're doing so much work on this episode, and like you said, you started going down so many different avenues, and believe it or not, it's not acoustic.
You went down Electric Avenue.
I went down.
Right.
I went down all these avenues, and then there's an alleyway. I didn't know what it was, and I clicked on it, and check that out. It was Sebastian Bach from 2007 doing a cover of Rush's "Finding My Way."
Oh, wow.
Really good.
Huh.
It's just like a single. I never heard of it. Him doing it
Yeah.
before this alleyway when I was going down all these avenues. And there's a little alleyway here, and I went and it was like not acoustic.
That's cool.
Real good.
He's a huge Rush fan. He was
Yeah,
in the Beyond the Light stage documentary, and he's like, I was Rush fan number 3 of the Backstage Club in Toronto, mother truckers.
Truckers. But no, that popped up, and I was like, clicked on it real quick, and I was like, wow, that's pretty damn cool.
That's a high song.
Yeah.
Good job.
And he does it justice.
Huh. I'll have to listen to that. That's cool.
All right, so here's a little combination of in genre and not in genre. And since we're talking about avenues and stuff like that, how about Corey Taylor?
Okay.
He does an acoustic version of Purple Rain at the First Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And he does it, I believe it's right after Prince dies.
That's cool.
So he sings Purple Rain, and it's just him and acoustic guitar, and the lights are dimmed in a purple haze.
Of course.
And it's very touching. And I'm like, do I put that on the album? Do I use it as a gem? I figured I'll use it as a gem since it's probably not released anywhere. It's just maybe 5 or 6 people have it posted from this one. He probably only did it one time.
Huh.
But because I know Corey has that live from London, and it's like in a whole acoustic album, and this isn't on there. But yeah, he does Purple Rain, and he does it really good. He does it justice. And like I said, I think it's right around the time Prince's passing. So
Yeah, everybody started jumping and doing
Yeah.
it. And I'm a closet Purple Rain fan. So.
That album's amazing.
Yeah.
Computer Blue is awesome.
When you start listening to the guitar work on it,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, back then, you're like, oh, Frank. But now you look back now, you know.
I mean, even the popular Let's Go Crazy, like, the guitar work on it is phenomenal.
Yeah, he was, just another underrated guitar player that you just,
He was a strange ranger, but he was very talented.
Definitely.
Yeah. So those are our hidden gems.
Yeah. Great
Take
job,
'em or leave
guys.
'em.
Take them or leave them. Like I said, we'll make sure we get those posted. And
Love 'em.
let's jump in our B-side of our acoustic,
A cool stick.
Acoustic Unplugged vinyl. Have you what you say? But
Yeah.
what is
Exactly.
All right, BC. Let's dive into side 2 there, buddy.
I'm going to go with let's see, Stone Sour, since you're talking about Corey Taylor. Stone Sour did a cover of acoustic cover of Wild Horses.
Okay.
Off of their 10th anniversary edition of Come Whatever. I mean, again, I'm not a big Stones fan, but I like this song. I mean, I love
Yeah.
when people do covers of it.
It was a really good song.
One of these many avenues have been going down on this, and that caught my ear right off the bat. I'm like, wow,
Right.
that's pretty damn cool.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that
Oh,
that version.
Check it out, dude.
No, I like both of the elements of it. I like the song Wild Horses and I like Stone Sour, so I'll probably like that version.
Oh, you definitely will.
All right, BC. Starting off side 2, boy.
It's a good one.
With the right hook.
It's a good one, I think. I'll say.
Yeah.
Come on, you love it. If you like Stone Sour, you're going to like it. And if you like the song, you definitely will like it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure I will.
I'm not a big Stones fan, and I like it.
Right. Cool.
Other than,
All right, we'll have to.
other than the hits.
We'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, Dill, what do you got there, buddy?
My next song is a song that was originally electric, but they did an acoustic version of it. It's by a band called The Pretty Reckless. Off of Going to Hell, it's the acoustic version of Going to Hell.
Really?
It's cool. It has like a bluesy feel to it, like a southern rock kind of groove to it, but it's a cool, different version of it. They all work really well together. I like the original song, but I like this acoustic version even better, I think. Taylor Momsen's voice really shines acoustically because she can do, the harder vocals, but she could also do like the really beautiful, like soft vocals as well. This is a really good version of a great song off of an amazing album. So, Going to Hell from The Pretty Reckless.
I'm familiar with the song. I've just never heard that version, so
It's good.
check it out.
I do not know
very
that
good.
one.
You know the song?
I don't think I do.
Pretty Reckless are a really good band.
They're good. A little different, but I mean,
Yeah.
I will definitely check it out.
They kind of run the gamut at times. They're harder rock, then they go kind of southernish, then they're a little poppier. Like they're kind of all over the place, but I like them a lot. And it's crazy to think where Taylor Momsen started because she was Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh,
And then-
we've talked about.
And then she just becomes this like badass metal chick, and you're like, what? Where did this come from? Yeah, but Going to Hell.
I like
Pretty
it.
Reckless.
I'll have to check it out. I'll definitely give that a listen.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
come on, don't be like.
Don't lie to me.
All right, I gotta open my side too with how about Foreigner?
Nice.
They did a acoustic set for German TV.
That was the Germans.
And the Germans. It was March 7th, 2010. I'm going to pick Double Vision. That Kelly Hansen and his vocals, man, really blow Lou Graham's vocals away, I think, in my book.
Oh, God, yeah.
And Mick Jones on guitar, on an acoustic guitar, which you're not used to seeing, was really, really cool. And they probably did like eight or nine songs.
Yeah,
they did the hits, but I'm 95% sure they opened up with Double Vision on this TV show, and it was really, really good. And like I said, Kelly Hansen's vocals just skyrocket that band so much further, I think.
Jeff Pilson on bass, right?
I think, yeah.
Jason Bannon on drums? Because they changed. I don't
I don't
know
know
when he
who-
left them.
I'm not
He was with them, then he
100%
left.
sure who.
I mean, that line of it, like you said, they can play any theme from the Foreigner catalog and they rip it up.
Well, it's crazy that Foreigner has a catalog that, like, I would say like 75% of it are hits. Like, they just like, they were like a hit machine. They just couldn't put out a bad, bad material. Because, like, how many Foreigner songs have you heard on the radio? Like, a million of them.
Yeah, but
I literally just heard I Want to Know What Love Is, like, yesterday.
Kelly Hansen just puts a whole new twist on all of them. And nothing against Lou Reed or anything.
Not
No,
Lou Reed.
it may have not.
Lou Reed. Lou Reed was in
Come on,
Velvet
Lulu.
Underground. The Lulu episode coming
Yeah,
soon.
come on, Lulu.
It's coming.
I don't think it was Jason Bonham. Jason Bonham was there from 04 to 07, and then a little bit from 07 to 08. Possibly Brian Tishy.
I was going to say, after that, Brian Tishy was there, and then
He was there like
until we went to Dead
for
Daisies.
2 years, and then 2007 to 2010. Then a little bit in 11, a little bit in 12, and a little bit in 17. So I'll have to watch the video again and see if I can tell who's the drummer.
I mean, just the way they are now.
I think there were actually bongos on this one.
They're just the way their lineup band-wise now is just.
Yeah, like you said, I love Kelly's voice. I think it really fits the band well. It really takes them to that next level.
I got to see him in 1986 in Spring, Pennsylvania. Fronted his first band, Hurricane.
That's cool.
At the
Lucky you.
CYC. The CYC.
Mike Tyson boxed there once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or I'll bite your ear off, goddammit.
Poor
All right,
Baker
BC,
Mayfield.
what's next?
I'm gonna get my main stuff out of the way. I'm gonna go with from 1990 Tesla 5-man acoustical jam with the Heaven's Trail, No Way Out. I
That's a
mean,
good
when
one.
this first came out, and this whole album to me is off the scales. I mean, I'm a Tesla fan to begin with, and I like acoustic music, so you got everything right here. And I was going to say, I was also going to pick Coming at You Live and Slash Truckin', which they opened it up
I'm
with.
still hurt.
Dylan's still hurt because he's never seen it electric.
Those bastards.
Damn it.
Yeah, that album, front to back, it's just, and that's probably one of the first albums I can actually remember being like totally acoustic.
Back then, yeah. 1990, so yeah. This is probably the start of all this
This little acoustic thing
uprising of acoustic.
with the Sign song, and that just skyrocketed everything.
That's probably my least favorite on there.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's just they
Absolutely.
played it to death.
Right.
And there's so much good music out there, and
And even on
Music
that
and
album, they
music
could have
is-
released something else.
yeah. Oh, there's so much good stuff. Like Getting
And they just
Better.
played that poor Sign song to death.
They
Yep.
played it to death.
Well, I mean, the chorus is everywhere there's signs, and they meant the song signs, not actual signs. Everywhere
Oh.
there's signs. Became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, great pick, great album, front to back, even Signs every once in a while, but yeah, good pick. Dylan,
Let me ask you something. Seeing
it's out of
as-
format.
Seeing as my dad is not here, did you pick any Sammy Hagar?
I did not.
Okay, good, because
I'll save that for my hidden gem
because I did
and piss them off.
I did pick Sammy Hagar because I knew that old Steve-O would appreciate it. It's off of his Light Roast album
Oh yeah.
from 2014. I think I'm going to go with, since I play it all the time, the acoustic version of Dreams.
Yeah.
I was going to pick that or Finish What You Started, seeing as they're both from the best Van Halen.
Amen.
But they're cool versions of the songs. Like, it's cool to hear them reinterpreted in this acoustic format because, like,
What was the name of it?
it's from Light Roast is the name of the album.
Light Roast.
And you can either pick Finish What You Started or Dreams. I'll make it a choose your own adventure for you.
I'll go finish what you start.
Okay. But, like, it's cool. It's a cool version of it. I mean, it's Sammy, so, he's the consummate professional. Sounds great. Just really awesome versions of songs that might fly under the radar for, regular Joe, if you're keeping with the coffee metaphor of Light Roast.
I don't remember seeing this. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I got lots of stuff to listen to.
finish what you started, or dreams. BB, have you ever heard this album?
I have heard it. I have heard different songs. That's what I'm looking up. I have not heard the album in its entirety. I have a couple of the songs downloaded in my library of bazillion songs. Yeah, this is a great album. And like you said, you could have picked any one. Finish what you started. Eagles Fly.
Fly.
That, like BC said, that's a really, really good song. Dreams. Oh, the Halfway to Memphis song. That's a really good one too, acoustically. His voice just is just cool on that one. Yeah, this is a really good one. I forgot about this album.
I did. I never saw it. This is cool.
Yeah, and Vic Johnson on guitar, another underrated guitar player that he's taken under his wing, and I think he even does like the Van Halen stuff. He gives it justice. And he doesn't try to be Eddie.
Yeah.
He does a little Eddie, but he puts his own thing into it.
Yeah, it doesn't try to.
Doesn't straight up copy.
I like when people do that. They pay tribute but make it their own.
Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you: did you pick any Van Halen acoustic?
I did not.
No Spanish Fly.
No Spanish Fly. No 316.
Senorita.
Yeah, this is.
No Josephina from Van Halen 3.
I'm overwhelmed, and we're not even done with the episode yet.
I know, right?
Well, what did you pick? What's your next pick?
So my next one, I'm going to go with Megadeth.
Nice.
And when
band that you would not think
is acoustic. Back in 2013, they released the Super Collider album. Mm-hmm. And they do a 3-song set in New York City for their release party under the Vivo's studio. They do She-Wolf, they do Kingmaker, and they do Symphony of Destruction. And the song I picked is She-Wolf. The song is really, really cool. The harmonies, the way that the guys sell it is just really, really good. And that's pretty much what blew me away was the harmonics of their vocals interacting with each other. I'm like, man, that is. You don't expect it. You just expect Dave just to like kind of sing it and spoken word sell it, but they come together and they sound amazing. And it's recorded in like black and white, and it just gives it a really cool seance to it.
Don't think I've ever seen that. Cool.
Yeah, there's that popular Vivo thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
VEVO.
Like everybody has their music videos through Vivo.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just there's 3 songs. You could pick any one. Even Kingmaker is really good too.
Kingmaker's a great song.
And that Symphony of Destruction, it's all right. It's not bad, but I just didn't.
It feels like it's
come
too
through as well as an acoustic as it does in the original.
like it seems too like instrumentally sparse for acoustic. Like because there's a lot of dead air where there's not a lot of guitar happening.
Right. But you check out those 2, She-Wolf or Kingmaker. You'll not be. I think Kingmaker is on Cryptic Writings, I think, and then She-Wolf is on the Collider, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's right because Kingmaker's Super Collider, and
Super Collider, and
She-Wolf is
She-Wolf's on Cryptics.
Yeah.
But those 2 songs are freaking fantastic. So definitely check them out.
That is cool. I had not heard that they did that because you don't think Megadeth is.
No, they actually did.
Megadeth acoustic.
They've done an actual acoustic tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't put that out. I would listen to that.
Yeah, I don't know why they never released anything like that, but they I forget when it was because. When I found that, it comes and then you're like BC said, your avenues of this and that, and your all acoustic Megadeth comes up, and you're like, oh wow. But this was just so well produced and it sounded great. I'm like, oh, we'll use this, and it's easier to post instead of a whole concert. But.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
So check it out, BC.
I'm overwhelmed here. There's so much stuff I'm going to be checking out.
You got to check it out now. You got a lot of homework to do.
Too much homework. I'm going to overdose. Okay, I've always been a fan of these guys since way back in 86, 85. Lillian X. And back in 2013, they recorded this show. And I want to say it was out in Arizona, maybe, One Night in the Temple.
Okay.
It's like it's acoustic double live album.
Oh, wow.
And they do everything of theirs acoustically. It came out in 2014, but it was recorded back in February of 13. And there's so many songs to go for. I'm gonna go with Ghost of Winter. I mean, Steve Blaze to me is another one of those underrated guitar players. And Lillian Axe, I think, was a band that just got lost, and they were a very underrated band. But they have a new vocalist now than when this song first came out. But this guy does the music justice, and I never thought they'd be able to replace their vocalist. But
Well, let's check that out now.
One Night in the Temple. It's like a double live acoustic album.
That's crazy.
Your dad did like it.
No, well,
Then it's got to be good. It's got to be good then. It's got to be better than The Mission. Yeah, great pick, and I'll definitely check that out. And like I said, I never knew they released that.
yeah, cool.
All right, Dill, what's up next there, Keys?
My next pick is from a band that kind of dropped off the face of the earth, Rev Theory. They did like an EP acoustic live for the Gibson Lounge, and they did some cool versions of Hell Yeah, Far From Over. They did a cover of Hunger Strike, but which of course, as we all know, great song.
Definitely.
But the song I'm gonna cover is their cover of Nothing Else Matters from Metallica. Vocally, they do the song so well. It sounds really good, and they capture the power of it. Because the Metallica version, whenever they do it live, they kind of downplay it a bit. Like James kind of just is a little more mellow with the singing, but like they really go for it in this version of it, and I really really enjoy their interpretation of it. And they're a band that I think they just had like the one song that everybody really loved, and then they kind of just fell off the face of the earth. I mean, I think Randy Orton has his intro song is one of their songs. Yeah, they're a good band, and I would love to hear some more from them. I think the last thing they put out was 2016. It was where I think they changed their name back to Revelation Theory, I want to say.
I have that. I want to say they did. But like you said, they're a good band. I mean, when they first came out, of course, they had that one. Give me a...
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was on Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and caught them. They played at the Harley Davidson big 105th anniversary and that. They were like on 2 in the afternoon at this place. And they came out and they ripped it up. And I ripped it up at the bar too. So. Which made for a long day. But like you said, they're a very good band, and I want to check this out.
Yeah.
More homework.
Is that
That's the cover, yes.
I do have that, and I remember listening to this because was it this song Broken Bones? But yeah, Rev Theory, another great covers of songs that they did on that album. Another like we keep saying, like all these bands, like they get out there, they get 1 or 2 albums, and they just don't catch on, or they don't turn big in the States, and they gotta hope they kind of get big in Europe because it seems like that's where everybody is. But
I remember seeing them at Eleanor Rigby's, and they were really good.
They played around here, right?
They were really phenomenal, and that was a great place to see a show and play a show. But okay, what's your next pick?
Well, I guess I can't have an acoustic album without a KISS song on it. So let's go with Black Diamond.
Nice.
It is a video from the KISS Cruise in 2011. So whatever KISS Cruise was in 2011, since I'm sure Steve would know. Steve, what is it?
Can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Speak up. But it's just a great acoustic. Paul starts his little thing in the beginning, and drums come in, and Eric Singer starts to sing. And when Eric Singer sings, it's like, wow,
yeah,
he's really, really good. And this song is a testament to his vocals because it's spot on. He even does it better than Peter Criss, drumming and singing. I mean BC. But yeah, it's a really good version. I will definitely post it because it's awesome. It's really, really good.
I mean, I love when they do the acoustic stuff on the ship. It's always the sail-off show, right?
Yeah, I think
That's what they call
Yeah,
it.
they get the Sail Away show.
Sail away show.
Yeah, I haven't heard that version of it, but I mean, they really translate their songs well to acoustic.
yeah.
They do. You could honestly pick any song they've done acoustic and be like,
Damn.
"This is what I pick," and I wouldn't argue with you.
Cool. All right, BC.
Oh boy.
Number
10.
Are we at number 10?
I believe so, right?
I was going to say 9.
Oh, maybe I'm ahead of myself.
Come on.
Oh, I am ahead of myself. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay,
number
number 9, BC.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9. Number 9.
1992 self-titled release from Mr. Reality. We're talking about acoustic music on this show tonight, and this is the band that put out a whole album of just acoustic. And everything they did is just acoustic. 3 guys, bass player, guitar player, and vocalist. And I'm going to go with the song In My Yard. Anything off this album is just phenomenally.
Mr. Reality. I've never heard of these guys.
Really?
Never.
They had one album, I guess, in 1992, and they got lost. And again, it was all acoustic.
Right.
But there's so much stuff online. Look it up. Them playing in Jersey and shit. And just, you want to talk about harmonies? Check these guys.
There's
out.
harmony. There's harmony right there, huh? All right. I'm sure Dylan has not have heard of it. I have not heard of them.
with it at
I'm
all.
sure
Check it out,
Steve
people.
has, but we'll have to give
I think
Mr. Reality
you did
a
talk
listen.
about them before. once, I think.
I mentioned probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to acoustic music, these guys are great.
All right.
3
We'll have
guys
to-
that they all can sing and
Once again, we'll have to check it out.
We'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
take my word, damn it.
All right, Dill, what's next?
Okay, my next song, I think I'm going to have to go with... I'll break out of format a little bit, I think, on this one. I'm going to go with Hurt by Johnny Cash. The definitive version of the Nine Inch Nails song, in my
9 Inch
opinion.
Nails, that's right.
This was at the end of his road. This was right before he passed away, basically the end of his career. But I think it's one of the most beautiful performances that Johnny Cash has ever put to tape. It works so well. And like, you just walk up to a random person on the street before the song came out and be like, "Hey, did you know Johnny Cash is covering a Nine Inch Nails song?" They're like, "Fuck off, go away. What are you talking about?" But like, you would never... This is like, he makes it his own. It's his own song at this point. Like, even Trent Reznor's like, this is the definitive version of the song. I have given for... Like, it's Johnny Cash's now. It's not mine. Just beautiful and powerful and emotional. And it's a downer song. But his performance, like, the graveliness of his voice and just, like, how it just goes into your earbuds. And it just, like, every time you listen to it, you kind of get caught up in your throat because it's like, wow, this guy really does have such a power in his voice and in his performance. And I just love it so much that I couldn't not talk about it.
Right. Yeah, that's a great song. Super, super powerful. And if you didn't know that was a cover song, you would honestly think it was his.
Yeah.
Because he just sells it, and it's like heartbreaking just listening to it. And he just grabs you, and like you're so, you're almost as broken as he is the way he's singing it, But it's, you said it, you hit the nail on the head. It's very touching, it's very moving, it's emotional, and it's a million times better than the original. And I'm glad you picked it because it's funny.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks ago, there's a guy I work with. He kind of listens to like country music and that. And he goes, "Oh, you ever hear that Johnny Cash song?" And I had to tell him where it actually came from. He goes, "Oh, I thought it was his." I'm like, "Oh, no."
I think it's a song that kind of transcends genres in terms of like people liking it.
Yeah.
It's like you could like any kind of music, but be able to appreciate the power of the song. Because it's like it's a pretty mellow song. It's not like a rock song. It's not even really country-ish. It's more of like a folk kind of feel to it,
Yeah.
and it just is one of those few rare songs that anybody could appreciate it for what
Yeah,
it
because
is.
I don't know if it came up like on a Spotify or a Pandora mix, but that's where he caught it, and like in that out of town where it was actually from. But yeah, great pick. You see, you like this song?
I love it. when it came out, like you said, it's different from what the original one was.
Yeah.
I like it better than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so touching. Like he puts his heart and soul, and and
like you said-
if that's his last recorded song,
I don't know if it's one of his last
yeah,
recorded.
it really
Like you said, if somebody comes up and they hear it, they think it's him.
Yeah.
It's his.
right.
They don't know it's somebody else's.
And it helps that he did change the lyric, I wear this crown of shit, to I wear this crown of thorns.
Oh, right.
I can't pick, I wear this crown of shit.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, great pick. Great pick. My number 9 is going to be from Slash. Slash in Miles Kennedy. Since Steven here, we could talk about Miles Kennedy as well
And his
as
conspirators.
acoustic and his conspirators. We're going to go from the Unplugged Max session from Australia, 2013. They do a cover of Civil War.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just Miles and it's Slash, and there's like maybe an audience of like 50 people, and they do maybe like 5 or 6 songs, and they do a couple conspirator songs. I think they do. Miles's band is
Alter Bridge?
Alter Bridge. I think they do one of them, and they do like 2 or 3 Guns N' Roses songs. But Civil War, he sings it like he sings it. He sings it like that high-pitched, whiny-ish. Like it's almost like an Axl sounding, but it's not. And he's definitely not trying to be Axl. I think that's why it comes across so good. And acoustically, you don't expect Slash to be ever grabbing an acoustic guitar, and it just sounds really, really good. And just a great combination of those two guys. And that whole half-hour show is just really, really good. If you get a chance to check that out.
And as you were talking about it, I do remember listening to it, and that is a really awesome version of it. I like Miles Kennedy singing.
Love him.
Singing
Anything.
Axl Rose's. Well, yeah,
Anything.
But singing Axl Rose's vocals, I know that a lot of people find it, grating at times, but I think he manages to convey the spirit of the original tune while making it his own a little bit. And this is the Civil War version was really good from that I remember. Like it translates. Really
Yeah, that's
well.
why it's tough. Like trying to, oh well, it was this was the video I saw. Like normally we're talking about an album that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know that one. Like so now you almost have to take everybody's word for it. But
Yeah.
it's just a great different combination of videos and actual songs and released, not released.
Yeah.
Because like BC said, there's all different avenues to go down and.
I never heard of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
like you said,
definitely.
you don't picture Slash with anything else than Les Paul.
Yeah, Les Paul.
Yeah.
He used to play. What did he used to play? Was it an Explorer? I can't remember. Like back in the club days, he played another instrument, and I saw a picture of it, and I'm like, that looks wrong.
It looks,
It looks wrong because you just picture him with the Les Paul.
Les Paul and the hat and the hair.
Like that's like seeing Angus without an SG. Like it's Angus SG / Les Paul. Like that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's very odd to see Slash with an acoustic guitar and plays it good. Plays it
Yeah.
really good. All right, BC, close out your album here with number 10.
I'm going to go with the Lynch Mob from 2013. Unplugged from Sugar Hill Studio with River of Love.
Down.
I love that song. Plugged, so I mean, acoustically it's great. I mean, Ani Logan to me,
The voice of Lynch Mob.
the voice of Lynch Mob. Except for the one album with Robert Mason, which to me,
Which is
one of
also
my-
the voice of Lynch Mob.
which is also the voice of Lynch Mob. But George Lynch is a phenomenal guitar player, and they just do the song justice, I think. And it's a cool little. I don't think it's a full album. I think it's more of an EP, but
Yeah.
they do a bunch of cool songs.
Yeah, they do River of Love.
I'm sure Wicked Sensation.
Where Do You Sleep at Night? All I Want, Wicked Sensation. And there's a little interview, 14-minute interview they do. And then once again, I have no clue this was out there.
I saw
think
it,
I
but
have-
I knew that one of you were going to pick Lynch Mob, so I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
like I'm disappointed I
move
don't
on.
have this. Like
It's good. It's good. Check it out, man.
I will. Great. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out, man.
What was the band name?
Excuse.
I can't remember now.
Lonnie Friend.
Yeah, Lon Friend said, check it out.
Check it out.
Skew Siskins.
Yeah, Skew Siskin. Check it out. For my last main album pick, I'm going to go to Slash Playing Acoustic with from GNR Lies. You have to go with I Used to Love Her. You have to talk about it whenever you talk about acoustic songs. The cheeriest song about killing somebody you've ever heard. Like, there's just a joy.
6 feet under.
Like, there's a cool little solo in it. You can tell the band's having fun with the song.
Yeah.
And, like, I just love, like, when Axl actually gets into the singing, like, towards the end with the, but I have to kill her. Like, it's really good. A fun song to put on, like, a little acoustic EP to balance out 1 in a Million, which is, Patience is another great song, but you have to go with the fun one.
Right. Yeah, that's a great pick. I love that song. It always, I don't know why, it just paints that picture in your head of digging the 6-foot hole in your backyard, but and maybe that's just my weird head. But it's a great cover. It's a great acoustic song. I mean, and definitely works in this album, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's really, really good.
Like I said, I like that. When you first came up, you're like, again, Guns N' Roses, you weren't thinking.
Yeah.
So it was a nice change for
Yeah. You're Crazy. The version of You're Crazy on there is good too.
That's BC song.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, I'm going to close my album out with a song from Chris Cornell.
Nice.
It's from his band Hair of the Dog, Temple of the Dog.
Temple of the Dog.
Hair of the Dog was another band. Temple of the Dog. He does an acoustic version of Wooden Jesus on Dylan's birthday in 2011.
Nice.
It's a concert he does by himself in Red Bank, New Jersey. Just a great. I love this song from this album. A lot of people don't understand it. They don't get the album, but don't get the band. I thought the band was amazing when they combined Soundgarden and Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
And
it was before Pearl Jam was huge too.
Yeah.
It was like before they both broke.
It's just a great combination. Thinking back to the day back in Seattle when those guys were going head to head, just jamming one against another, trying to get record deals out there, and then they combine their talents together to come up with this band. And I love the album. I can't. It's probably around 1990, 1991 the album was released. But this Wooden Jesus, he really great somber way. He sang this. Just like him and the guitar, and it's just he did a whole bunch of songs, but he did Hunger Strike, he did a couple, whole Black Hole Sun. But when I saw he did this, I had to watch it. It's really, really good. So check that out, BC, because I know you haven't heard of that one.
I have not.
I love Temple of the Dog. That version, the song is great. I don't think I've heard the acoustic version of it, but I'm definitely interested in listening to it.
Yeah. So be prepared when we post it.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch it. All right, BC, might as well, how about we just combine our two bonuses maybe?
Throw us some freaking bonuses.
Come on. Throw us a bonus, man.
All right, I'm going to take two of my picks and just combine them together since some of the same guys.
Sure.
I'm going to go with Tom Kiefer. He was in the band Cinderella back in the day, and since then he's gone out on his own. And I dig what he's doing. I mean, a lot of people are like, it's not Cinderella or Cinderella. Well, guess what? It's not Cinderella. It's Tom Kiefer.
That's right.
But
he already took the last train out of your heart. Now leave.
Now get out of here.
That's funny you mentioned that because this is live stuff. I don't know if it's officially out there anywhere, but it's just from his shows live from 2015. He did like Heartbreak Station. He goes right into Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone acoustically. And
nice.
His wife's out there does Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone with
him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just acoustically, I mean, and his band is top notch. And I just really dig what he's doing.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that he went to the hospital after one show. He gives 120% to every performance he does.
He does.
And I think he's very underrated. I mean, people always not a good vocalist. Well, it's not about being a good vocalist, but the power and the passion he puts in it. Yeah. And to me, that sells it for me.
Yeah, we've seen those him do those two songs quite a bit live, the acoustic versions, and they are amazing. I do like that he has his wife on stage for "Don't Know What You Got." It's a really powerful performance, and I'm definitely not sick of those two songs.
I love Heartbreak Station.
Yeah.
I know.
Back in the Cinderella days, I like that song.
Steve's a little sick of "Little Help with My Friends."
That's his favorite song. Don't let him fool you.
Don't let him fool you. He loves how they. I think that's about maybe the only thing that night we saw them. I honestly didn't like. For how many great songs they do have, they close with that. I probably understand, it's probably like a band thing, and they like playing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
whatever.
man, like for
Have
how
you
many?
Have you ever heard Kick Axe do it?
I don't know.
It's out there in Cyberland, but they do a great version of that song.
I really like the one time at M3 he did a little help with my friends, but then he went into, I can't remember what David Bowie song it was, but I was like, yes, thank you, fucking David Bowie, let's do it.
Keep going, don't
I can't
stop.
remember. I don't think it was Space Oddity.
No.
I can't. I don't think it was. I don't think it was Starman. I can't remember what song it was. It was one of the slower Bowie songs. I can't remember it. It wasn't Changes. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't Life on Mars. That would have been cool. Yeah, but those are two good bonus tracks, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, we've seen him live several times, and every time we saw Tom Kiefer and or Cinderella, they never disappoint.
No.
They always bring it. Now I understand why he went to the hospital, because he's back and forth all the time, and screaming and singing and playing, and
Yeah.
just
He's
a great
constantly touring.
frontman.
I mean, here's a guy that is a road warrior, I think.
Absolutely. His voice has to he has to have an interpreter after every show, so that because his voice is probably gone by the end of each show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cool. Good pick, BC. All right, Dill. How are you going to close out your album there, kid?
I'm gonna do a Dave Grohl twofer.
Two for Grohl. Two for Tuesday Grohl.
Two for the Grohl. The first one is off of the Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits album. It's the acoustic version of Everlong. Really good. Another cool reinterpretation of a rocking song where it's nice and somber and heartfelt, and like you just feel the power of the lyrics really well. And lyrics aren't something that Dave Grohl really got into at the start of the career. Like he learned from Kurt Cobain that it was like the music first and the lyrics second. And like his first couple albums, the lyrics weren't really there because like they were just kind of to fill space, and he would write them right before. But Everlong was from their second album, The Color and the Shape, and this is like that's the first album that I really think he starts getting the lyrics for. And like this song especially, like you really feel the power of it. And like The Best of You is another like really, that's not from this album, but yeah, the acoustic version of Everlong is my first bonus track. And then my second bonus track is from the MTV Unplugged in New York from Nirvana. They do a cover of Lead Belly's Where Did You Sleep Last Night to close out the show. Kurt Cobain's vocal performance in this song is one of the most powerful vocal performances I've ever heard on tape. Like he like literally sings his soul out, and like they were supposed to go back on for an encore, and they were like, no, he literally used everything up singing that last song. We can't go back out. And it's an album that they didn't play a lot of their hits. They only played Come As You Are. They didn't play Smells Like Teen Spirit or like Lithium. Like they didn't play any of like the songs that you would think they would play.
They would play.
And a lot of people were like, oh, who are the special guests going to be? Because the MTV Unplugged, you always have to have a special guest. And they're like, oh, are they going to bring Eddie Vedder out? And they brought out two guys from the Meat Puppets. And like, yeah. And they did two Meat Puppet songs. But like this song, like if you listen to it, you actually, like listening to it's great, but you have to watch it, because watching Kurt Cobain during that song, like you could tell that he's just like, it's off key at times, but like you could tell that he's putting everything he has into that performance. And it's always stayed with me as like a really powerful thing.
Yeah, I remember when that came out, I did watch it. And that ending, like you said, it is very touching. But I didn't realize he physically couldn't come out.
He was like
redo
done,
He was just completely empty. But two great picks. Dave Grohl, probably, I don't know, in my eyes today, fantastic. One of the best, quote unquote, I'm going to say musicians, because the way he the way he sings, the way he plays, the way he produces. You know, he does it all now, and
Yep.
you know, he's just a great testament of time and great musician. You know, and just a great 2 picks, and they come from the same genre, so it's a great way to, you know, close that album out.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we just talked about Tom Creefer being a guy that gives it all. Dave Grohl, he gives it his all, and you know what? And he's also a fan of the music,
Yeah.
and that makes a difference, I think.
Yeah.
And I love the Foo Fighters always have like a special guest come out to play. Like they'll have like Joan Jett come out, or they'll have they had Chad Smith drum a couple songs. When we saw them, the Bad Brains came out. So like he has his influences and like the people he respects go up on stage and join them for a couple songs.
I mean, even those couple of shows, he had like these younger kids come up and
Yeah.
play, and you take the guitar.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
That last one they just had last week.
Yeah.
With the little kid, that was cool.
And like it's not like with Gene Simmons where it was like they rehearsed it and like you could tell it was spontaneous. Like,
Yeah.
come on up, let's do this.
And here, take the guitar home. Now you're like,
Because the one kid kind of hijacked the show. Dave's like, can I have my show back, please?
You don't mind if I have my show back?
yeah. Yeah, great picks. Great way to end your album.
How are you ending your album?
Well, I'm going to end, since I didn't bring this guy up, and he has his own catalog of acoustic stuff, let's bring up Zakk Wylde.
There it is. Yep.
There it is. We're going to close the album out the right way. We're not going to go, we're going to go suit and tie.
Oh.
No, we have like a bearded Zakk. We have like an unbearded. It's like suit and tie Zakk. This is like
kilt.
so.
No kilt.
No, this is
kilt.
like so
Unkiltered.
So somber. No kilt. We're going to church. We're going
Does
to
he
go.
have a trim beard, dude?
Or beard in the ponytail, nice pony, like a Dothraki ponytail.
Oh yeah, we have it nicely braided, trimmed on the side. It's a beautiful.
The Jason Momoa.
It's a beautiful thing you see now. My first song is going to be from the Unblackened album, Smoke on the Wheel. He brings the piano out for this one, and it's just a very touching song. It's usually with the guitar in it, but he does a little bit of crazy stuff when he brings his piano out because he just goes off in these piano key runs that are just amazing. And then close out the album. This song is off the Skullage album. It's like a greatest hits type thing. There's Pride and Glory stuff in there. There's like a Book of Shadow stuff on there. There's Black Label stuff. This is an acoustic version of Stillborn.
Yeah.
It says it was recorded in 2004 in Lehigh Valley. Right in the CD it said. So plays like a steel, probably it sounds like a 12 string. I don't even know. But the way he's plucking that thing, there could be 120 strings on it. And the whining he does in Stillborn is just mind-blowing. I love it. Probably my favorite acoustic Black Label song of all time because he's done a lot of Black Label acoustic stuff. But great way in my eyes to close out the album. Check those 2 songs out in case you may have not have heard of them. They're just really, really cool.
I'll get it, not heard of them.
That version is Stillborn. Like you don't think Zakk Wylde could sing really soulfully until you hear that song, and you're like, "Wow, holy crap! This guy actually." Because like you're so used to just kind of the Aussie-ish kind of vocals
Right.
a bit, and with the wah and the pitch harmonics, and then you hear this stripped down, and he's just kind of out there, just hitting with guitar. And it's like, wow, man, I underestimated it.
Pleasant surprise when you first heard that.
All right, final thoughts, BC. What do you think about this crazy little episode we did with?
I mean, we've thrown this around and we never really did it. And we said, hey,
figured now would be the great opportunity to do so.
The boss has gone away. We can play.
Yeah.
And like I said, once you start looking at its music and there's just branches off and there's so much out there that you never knew was out there.
Yeah.
And not that it was ever really released, but with the internet nowadays, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
And to me, that blows me away. And there's so much stuff I have to check out.
Yeah. Still.
This was a cool episode. I really love finding these different versions of these songs. And a lot of these songs that I picked, it was the first time I heard them, and I was just kind of blown away by them. I decided to put them on the list. So it was cool to do the research for this episode and really find all these awesome interpretations of songs you know and love. I think it's great that we were able to come up with an idea that maybe my dad wouldn't have liked, maybe he would have, but who knows? He actually doesn't know anything about this episode. He doesn't know what we're doing for this episode. So will he be mad? Will he be happy that we did it without him? Only time will tell.
Yeah, another great episode of doing homework, and this is almost like possibly a whole episode of hidden gems in a way.
Yeah,
because a lot of these songs you didn't even know existed. If they're not on an album and they've did them somewhere in Europe or Asia, wherever, you don't know it. You don't know it's out there if it's not on an actual album. But like Dylan said, I had a ball doing it. I know we threw this around a lot. I'm a humongous fan of acoustic stuff. When Napster was out, I was telling Dylan before, when Napster was out, I had bukus of songs of acoustic stuff because it just seemed like around like that 95, 96, 97, it's just everything kind of blew up acoustic.
Yeah.
And everybody was releasing acoustic songs or recording, from different clubs and, different concerts. But like you guys, I also had a great time doing it. Hopefully everybody out there will have a great time listening to it as well. And I will make sure that we post all these songs that we're trying to talk about because a lot of them were not released. And
there's a million other acoustic songs that we didn't cover. So if you guys have any songs that you want to highlight or you want to show us and say, hey, this is a song that would have been really cool to talk about, let us know. We would love to hear from you guys and spotlight some of the picks that you guys choose.
Sounds like a great episode for you guys out there to, enlighten us. Like BC said before, there's many avenues to go down acoustically.
Yeah.
Then there's probably a million more that we never even knew existed. So please,
we can do
post
a
them.
series of these shows.
Yeah.
If you really started looking into all the stuff that's out there.
Yeah. So
right.
we'll have to do that series of shows.
Of
thanks everybody for listening. You can catch us on iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere where podcasts can be found. Like us on Facebook. Check out our YouTube page. The Facebook page, we have so many videos that we post every week. BB and my dad do a great job finding some cool things to post. BB's going to be posting a lot of stuff for this episode that are just going to blow your mind. So be sure to like our Facebook page so you don't miss them. And we will see you next time, and there will be a next time. Did I do a good enough imitation?
I think you did.
Okay.
I think you did. I think you gave it justice.